Welcome to CK4RC.
Is a plate full of cheese fries and onion rings just like an unhealthy version of eating a loaded baked potato? Think about it. Welcome back to CK4RC. We got a couple Power Wagons on the bench over here, and they're facing each other because we're going to have a face-off. And we got two four-wheel drive rigs, and sometimes four-wheel drive converts to two-wheel drive in the middle of a run. Nobody plans for it to happen, but it happens, and that's what makes this shirt so giggle-worthy. But I got two four-wheel drive rigs. I got my four-wheel drive joke shirt. OnlyRCs.com. Double tap down below. Use my discount code with the link and get 20% off all your order. Get all the shirts and blankets and banners and cups and kids sizes. Just get it. Save some money. Why do we keep talking about this? Just go do it. Is that enough peer pressure for you? Anyway, let's get to the video. So, I'm going to match up these two Power Wagons just because they're Power Wagons. Listen, there's nothing about these trucks that screams fair matchup. Nope. We got 24 scale, we got 18 scale. We got brushed, we got brushless. Do I need to keep going? We got straight axles, we got portal axles. We got stock Axial electronics. We have Furitek electronics. Do I need to keep going? Because I don't think I do. But I'm going to put them up together because we got the best Axial has to offer, and we've got the best Furitek has to offer in RTR Power Wagons. So before we go outside and hit the rocks, let's just test some things out real quick in the studio. Whatever. All right. Got the calipers. Now, these are not stock wheels and tires, as you can already tell. But just to see what we're working with, I did swap out these tires not too long ago for a competition. And these are, 56 millimeter. 56 millimeters is what I'm rocking on the Axial Power Wagon. This one is still bone stock. And I don't know what it comes with, to be quite honest with you. But it actually looks like 56 as well. So, tire size, about the same. I do think that these are 1.3 wheels versus the 1.0s on the Axial. So, I don't really think that matters. But just worth noting. The other thing, like I said, this is bone stock. This one's not. This one's already been modded. I've got the aluminum. Am I using my calipers here to point at stuff? Well, I guess just because I can. So I've got, it won't turn off though. Anyway, got the aluminum steering links, got the brass diff cover, aluminum skid plate, aluminum suspension links, wheels, tires, license plate. Don't forget the license plate because that's on there too. I got the sticker on there because, I got the wood panels in the bed, all that stuff, I mean, it just adds up and just makes it cool. Don't act like this is not a good looking truck. Come on. And yes, King Chaos, in case you're wondering, I've mentioned several times I write books. That's just a tie into my books. I write about outlaw bikers called the Kings of Chaos. So that's all that is. This one, I haven't even put the bumper on. I already covered that. I'm not going to put the bumper on because the approach angle on this, the tires actually stick out further than the body. So the approach angle on this is greater than 90 degrees. It can go backwards. It's not going to go backwards because that's not how gravity works. But if I was in space, I could do it all day long. Anyway, that's that's ridiculous. So, all right, we got the wheels, we got the tires. Check out the weights and see what we're looking at here, just weight difference wise. Get the good old handy dandy scale out here, and I'll drop links down below for my calipers for the scale, all that good stuff if anybody is interested in getting some of the fun tools. All right, let's see what the Power Wagon's working with here. If it'll stay on here, it's not. not wanting to sit. What do I got to do here? There we go. All right, the Power Wagon weighs in at 449.4. 449.4. Not bad. 449. So let's check out the Fury Wagon. 360.5. That is a significant difference, folks. So that is where the weigh-in is at. And just for good measure, let's go ahead and line these guys up side by side instead of head on. And I'll show you what we're looking at in terms of difference in wheelbase as well. So as you can see, the wheelbase is actually very similar with the Axial Power Wagon being built on the Gladiator chassis. It's actually closer to an 18th scale truck as it is. And then this one is 18 scale. So weird how that works. So that's what we're looking at here. Obviously, the Furitek has the portal axles, like I mentioned, versus the Axial that has a straight axles. Axial also has the hard body that makes it a little top heavy. While this does have portal axles that raise it up, it also has an LCG chassis to kind of counteract that. So it's also a little top heavy, but it's somewhat balanced out. Whereas this, and it has the interior in here that just adds to that heft up top. So with that, I'm going to shut it down, and we're going to go outside and check these bad boys out in action. Here we go. All right, we're out here on the CK4RC Proving Ground. We got some pretty ugly weather out here. We're going to try to get a couple quick runs in and see how these rigs compare. First up, obviously, the good old Axial SCX24 Power Wagon. Getting some good grip with those tires. Didn't high point on that log, so that's a nice little, well, but the rear end, looks like the rear end got hung up. So, and get a little angle, there we go. All right, so let's come on over here and see what kind of angle climb we can get. That's not bad. I got my trusty cameraman helping me out so I don't have to drive one-handed today. So camera work is going to be a little more dynamic than usual. And hopefully my driving will be better than usual as well. So maybe you guys will actually get to see a decent video for once. That'd be weird and crazy, wouldn't it? All right, we're at Hangman's Pass. Let me see if I got the right line, because if I don't, this truck will stand up on me and tip over and hang me out to dry. Oh, there we go. Nicely done. Okay, okay. Now, one of the big drawbacks about this vehicle right here is the long wheelbase, because it will hang up on you. I thought I was going to be able to save it. Nope. Sure didn't. So let's get back up here and see if I can pick up where I left off. So this long wheelbase, in theory, will give you more stability. However, it just gives more opportunity to high point in the middle, and actually for the rear end of that tailgate to get caught up on things. And that happens way more frequently than is helpful for a crawler. This little section right here is no joke. This might have actually been the first time I've ever taken that. Now coming down to the broken bridge. There we go. All right, let me see, make sure I get a good line. I gotta get over here along this edge. And I gotta try to ride this log as much as I can. It kind of pushed me off course a little bit. But I actually think that long wheelbase helped me out. Hot dog. That was a very pleasant surprise. So let's come on over here and hit this second log run, and this one right here is always tricky. The angle and the point on this log causes a lot of problems. But with a different angle and a little more wheel speed, it was able to just climb right over. And let's see how it handles the chute. Come on, Power Wagon, give me something here. It's wedged itself in here, and it's just not wanting to. Oh, and it crossed the line. All right, and moving on to the Furitek FX118 Fury Wagon. Remember, this has portal axles, so it's going to have better ground clearance. However, I am still running this on stock tires, whereas the Axial Power Wagon I have upgraded several things, and this is still bone stock. I haven't even put the side mirrors on this thing. There we go. Get a little bit of a side climb going. That's not bad, not bad. Pretty stable. I like the way it feels. Okay. And I have to just comment on the difference in wheel speed. This brushless setup has so much more high-end power. And I clarify on the high-end power because, to be honest, I'm not totally sure where it stands with the torque. I keep getting spun over to the edge of this line, and that's not helpful. There we go, there we go. All right, a little persistence paid off. Getting down over here through this little section, these portal axles are gonna really come into play. Let me see if I can get up around Dead Man's Curve up here. Take it nice and slow. I love that slow crawl of the Furitek brushless system. This is just a tricky part of this course, and it is tight. Yeah, there we go. There's the flip. It's just a tight little section of this course, and if you're not careful, you will get wedged down in there. The wheel spin just, it'll just kick this thing around, and it actually helps quite a bit for the recovery. Now, that part right there, I don't know if you caught that with the Axial on the first run. It didn't want to get up here. I actually had to come over here and run this line a little bit where it's not as big of a step. This Fury Wagon, though, just crawled right up there without any problem at all. And then we come down over here onto the entrance to the bridge. And I got to make sure I get the right line. The Axial handled this. Oh, I did not take the right line. You know what? I'm going to try the different line. I've never done it on this side before. Let's see what happens. Oh, maybe that line isn't very good. I'm beached. Oh, can I get a little bit? Just a little bit. Not enough. Oh, what a downer. Total bummer right there. It's probably my fault for not picking a good line. But I gave it a couple chances and it didn't live up. So that's on there. All right. Now here is the high point on this log run. Let's see if these portal axles will give more clearance. Turns out no. The LCG chassis, the skid plate on there, is still dragging. So see if I can take angle, wheel speed, and get right over there. I am not lining myself up well for this chute at all. Wow, I really messed that up. Little hand of God action to get that thing back on track. And let's see how it does with the chute. It doesn't even want to enter the chute. So we're just going to skip the chute. The Fury Wagon just says, no thanks, I'm going to make my own trail. And there we go. So there's a comparison on the trail run. To be quite honest, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm going to be even more surprised whenever I get to watch that footage. Who knows how that turned out? I had my little helper on the camera, and we'll see how those camera angles turned out and what kind of interference we get with fingers and feet and everything else. But quite surprised. The Axial surprised me a lot, to be quite honest with you. I've actually driven this truck in a competition. I entered it in the stock class, even though it's built up. It still met the stock parameters because I actually haven't fiddled with the electronics at all. So, having said all that, the Axial Power Wagon seemed to outperform the Fury Wagon a little bit. So, which one gets to go up on the podium as the victor for the Power Wagon Showdown? Well, I want to take everything into consideration. I want to take the brushless system into consideration. I want to take the portal axles into consideration. I also want to take into consideration I'm running stock tires on this thing, which are not good, versus aftermarket Endura tires that actually are quite good. And that makes a big difference. I also have this thing weighted down a lot more. And even though it does have the hard body that gives a little bit more heft up top, I do have it weighted down low. This one I haven't done a thing to. This is stock out of the box. Price point. The Axial Power Wagon currently sets about $140 new. The Fury Wagon, somewhere in the 200 range, might be upwards of 220. Every once in a while, you might be able to get a deal on it for 180. So, having said all that, that is closer to the range that I found mine in. I got a good deal on it on sale around the holidays. And so, considering the relative close price point, $40 difference brand new for the stock Axial or the stock Furitek with the brushless system and everything else. You had to see it coming. Yeah, I saw it coming too. And maybe it was rigged because, I mean, it's my competition and I expected it to go this way. But I got to tell you, the Axial performed a lot better than I expected. And since I've owned this rig right here, this is the model that got me back into the RC hobby. This one. And I've been underwhelmed with it since I got it. Today was the first time that I've really been impressed with this little thing. But the Furitek Fury Wagon, just hard to beat. So if you're looking for the best performing, overall best quality Power Wagon style crawler, go with the Furitek Fury Wagon. If you're looking for, scale trail truck, you can't go wrong with the Axial. It's a nice truck. So either way, I mean, and this one, it is a little bit cheaper. So either way, you're going to get a good rig. It depends on what you want to do with it. But that's where things stand for me with my competition, in my opinion. So take it or leave it. Hey, I'm not here to influence anybody. Give you some information. But there's my power ranking with the Power Wagons, with the Power Wagon, Face Off, Showdown, Throwdown. I got nothing. Thanks for coming back. Keep doing RC stuff. Don't forget to hit the quadfecta before you go. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time.